Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you guys came over today to see another brand new video. So yes, I am in my car. I know that's a weird place for a video, but I just thought it would be different. So I actually had to run out and go to a doctor's appointment. I actually had a really bad double ear infection for like a week and a half. So this was my follow-up appointment for an ENT. And yeah, I was like, you know what? While I'm out, I thought I would make the video for you guys. So if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Lacey, and this channel is all about documenting what God is doing in my life on a daily basis. I just felt like I did not live 24 hours for no reason, that there was no purpose in it, and I really wanted to document that. So I started documenting what God was doing, how He was working in my life, and I really wanted to share it with all of you. So, without further ado, on to the message. Yesterday was a really, really good day. I got up, I was like in such a good mood. I had like this amazing, just quiet time, I guess you could say, with the Lord. I did some reading, and it was just such a good day. And I think because it started out really good, it made the rest of the day really good. So lately I've been reading Romans. Yesterday I was reading Romans, I want to say it's 11. And had a couple of different kind of themes and meanings and things like that. But for some reason, I had been feeling really lonely. And I had been trying not to be like so bitter about it. And kind of the season of life that I'm in is I actually moved to a new area. I did all this stuff that like I've never done before, which is super exciting. But now I am trying to acclimate to the area. And when you first move someplace, it's really, really hard. It takes you a while to kind of like get acclimated to the area. And I really am just feeling kind of lonely, like not connected at all. And then all the pandemic in the world has happened, and that has kind of put a damper on things because you couldn't do as much. Now things are opening back up, but I've just been feeling a little like bitter, I guess you could say, and a little lonely. And I don't want to feel that way. And sometimes I feel like I'm the only one reaching out, or I'm the only one trying. And I know that I shouldn't feel that way. And I'm sure that people are trying in their own way. It's just not coming across apparent to me. So I've been kind of praying about that and just asking God to remove this bitterness from me, because I feel like I'm really trying, and I feel like people just don't care. So it makes me have to like look at myself more and figure out, what's really important. Have to remember those simple things of like, people are not perfect. People will fail you. The the flesh is just terrible, and you have to keep your eye on God. As I was reading in Romans, I was really encouraged because Paul starts talking about how he was like back to Elijah, and he kind of references Elijah. And I love when they reference the Old Testament in the New Testament. I don't know why, I just like it. He's like, remember Elijah? And Elijah, went through and was like killing all the false prophets of Baal and all that stuff. And I'll put like the scripture references. It's in like First Kings, I want to say. He's like, remember that? And he was like, I'm the only one left. Like, I'm it. I'm the only one left. And God's like, no, 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 no. Do you know how many, like, I saved 7,000 from Baal, basically. He's like, I did that. Like, you're not the only one, but you might feel like you're alone. And that just kind of hit me super hard because I had just been feeling super alone. I'd been feeling kind of like I was the only one. Like, I understood why Elijah would kind of cry out and be like, I'm it. Like, I did all this. There's nobody left. I might be taking some of it out of context because I didn't go through and look up some of like the cultural context, or really the context of the scripture, just because I haven't had time to go back and do that. But I did go back and read the story, and I thought, I totally understand. I understand when you're alone and you're just like, hey, like I'm it. How come nobody's helping me? Or like I'm trying so hard and like I don't know what to do. I don't necessarily think that's the meaning of the story, but the word is living. And you're gonna get different things for different reasons because of different places you are in life. And I thought that it was super important to document the fact that like this made me feel better, that an Old Testament prophet was going through this where he felt like he was like, oh my gosh, there's nobody left. Like he probably felt like he was the only person that believed in God, wouldn't you think? And sometimes I feel like I'm the only one. Like I feel like I'm just pulling everyone along with me. Or the things that I'm praying for are like, and my salvation list is like growing so tall, and it makes me sad. And I just feel like sometimes I'm the only. I think in those times we have to remember the power of God. We have to remember that God is amazing and powerful, and more powerful than we could even contemplate, imagine in our like little earthly mind here. We're not even going to understand it. And we have to rest in the fact that he is that amazing and that he is that powerful. And so in the story of Elijah, he goes up on this mountain and God's, you know, there's all this wind and there's an earthquake and there's fire. And like it specifically says like this is not God, you know. And I don't know if I'm right. Like I could be totally wrong. But I felt like it was saying it's not God, but God's sending all this. Like God is that powerful. Like don't underestimate what you're going through and don't feel like you're alone, because the creator of the cosmos is amazingly powerful and he's right there. Like you don't have to worry about that. Like you can see the wind, so you can see God, right? Like the trees are not blowing for no reason. So I feel like through this story, God was telling me that it was okay, that sometimes you're going to feel alone. You're going to be in seasons where you just have to focus on God and his power and know that you're not alone, that you're not the only one left. You're not the only believer. You really have to put all of your trust and hope and identity in God himself. And that's where you need to lie. But sometimes you're going to feel alone. Sometimes you're going to feel like nobody cares. And sometimes you're going to feel like you're the only believer. But that's okay, because if you have God, you have everything. And so we just have to put our identity into that and say, you know what? Even if I have to be alone, it's okay, because the power of God is around me and it's in me, and that's all right. And today that really helped me. It really pushed me through and made me feel like, okay, you can get through today, because I know you're feeling like you're being pulled down, but just lean into me a little bit more. Come to me a little bit more. Pray with me a little, come and pray a little bit more, and I will show you that there is more, that I am huge and I am a big God, and that you're never alone. I think sometimes we expect people to solve our problems, and we don't typically want God to solve them. And on this particular day, I really felt like God was right next to me and really showing me that it was okay. Like sometimes you're going to be alone, but you just have to remember that you have to put your identity in him, and he alone will make you full.